Today we're going to cover the new industry packages that we are now releasing for top industries for the Beas Manufacturing product. I'm going to explain you all about those packages, how you can use them, and how will it benefit your business and your sales cycles, and later on implementation. But before that, let me just start by introducing myself. So my name is Naama Aroni, and I run the enablement department and the customer success. For those of you that don't know what is enablement, then we are basically building material that will help the sales team to engage in a way more effective way with customers and prospects. And that means sometimes presentation, sales presentation, implementation material, brochures, anything that can help the sales cycle. Of course, we're there. And later on, we support the ongoing relationships with you and with the customers through our webinars. We have annual webinars running on different products. We have an e-learning platform which you can register and get access to further trainings on all of our products. We have workshops right now. There is a world tour going on around the world, trainings, and of course on-site assistance when it's needed. So what's on the agenda today? I really want to start and drill into the situation that today sales and implementation consultants are facing. What are the challenges that we have in the sales cycle, and then of course, why do we need those industry packages? We're going to see what's inside and how to make it your own. If there are any questions along the way, please feel free to either raise your hand or write it in the chat, and I'll address it as they appear. Okay. So I want to start with what do prospect wants, and this is a very important point because when we look at sales reps and what they bring to the table, it's really important to understand how those characteristics that they have can influence the buying decisions. So I took a survey from Forrester Research, where they basically list the number of characters that are based on importance for those prospects. So you can see, for example, that product knowledge only counts for 2%, meaning it's only 2% important to our prospects. Then going on, then we have the ability to communicate the differentiators, meaning what is making us and our products unique. Likability and personality gets 9%, the same with technology expertise. Ability to leverage the company's resources is 12%. Industry knowledge and expertise is 22%. And then ability to understand and solve my challenges. That's at the end what matters, because every customer is unique. We know that. And at the end, they really want to know that you understand me and you have a solution for me. That's the point at the end. However, based on, again, the survey from Forrester, what are those customers or those prospects getting when they meet the sales employee? So obviously, all of them know about their product and their solutions. They get a very high score. However, when it comes to understand my issues and where they can help, you can see that they scored much lower. And also if they can relate to my roles and responsibilities in the company, meaning that are willing to match and tailor our message to our audience, is quite limited, obviously. And many sales reps don't focus on that specific aspect. They really want to show how the product can fix everything and even above that. But maybe I've not introduced myself before. I was also running pre-sales at SAP Canada, and this is where, for example, at SAP, the top thing that we cared about was to know what are their challenges, and more than that, how does it makes them feel. If I can relate to how it makes them feel, whether it means that they have to stay out late in the company, whether it means that the boss doesn't appreciate them, whatever it is, whatever your emotion that brings with that challenge, then that's even an added benefit, because then you can tailor it and make it way more emotional and specific to the audience. So why I show you all of that, because that is actually the framework for what we're doing with those industry packages. We're trying to identify those challenges that customers are getting to help you tailor your presentations at the long run. Okay, so what we realize is obviously that the salesperson ability to communicate value during customers' interactions is perceived as the greatest inhibitor to sales success. That's coming from serious decisions. Okay, so that's the framework for this entire presentation and package. So why we created it? Obviously, we understand that it's hard to become successful if you don't have the right information, if you don't understand the specific requirements and the pain points for each one of those industries. And we understand that it's also very hard for you to get those data and to get that type of research about the industry to understand the ins and outs of what specific challenge and how it affects the business. This is something that takes a lot of time to compile, and later on, of course, create the right material, presentation, templates takes a lot of effort. And more than that, when you want to onboard a new technical consultant, implementation consultant, pre-sales or a sales employee, getting them ramped up fast is an issue if they don't have the right material in place to help them during this journey. So this is the cause of why we created it, really to help the partners, and that's besides the fact that we use it internally. We release it as a tool because we really think this can help, and you can take it for what it is. So what's inside, or what are the industry packages in specific? So what does it entail? First of all, it provides you specific industry knowledge, and I will show you exactly all the relevant tools that you get inside. So we're providing implementation and pre-sales and sales tools. Sales reps require tools to make sure that they are able to successfully sell and implement the solution. It also comes with all the relevant templates and all the documents, or at least the one that we think are important. Maybe there are more, and we would like for you to share it with us. But all the templates that we think can help you do your job better. And of course, and that's, I think, one of the top things here is that it opens the discussion. It opens the discussion with the prospect into those challenges, into what I've said before about the emotional aspect of those challenges, help them engage and really understand their problems. Because what we need to be is something called a trusted advisor. We need to really care about them, to really make sure that they get exactly what we need, and not more than that and not less than that, that we have their best interest in our heart. So just before we go into what's inside and how does it look like, I want to explain you a bit about the process that we had to go through to get into those packages. So first of all, we understand there is a need in the market, but other than that, we went and interviewed different customers. Some of you might have been contacted by us in order to reach out and to some of your customers. So we really wanted to identify the specific pain points during interviews. And there were phone interviews which were documented, where we tried to ask, what are your, again, challenges? What were the challenges prior to buying Beas? What do you like most about Beas? What's not working for you? Because it's also important for us as a company to understand how we can improve our products in the long run. Let's say, what is making Beas the top solution? What features specifically? So we understand what's working best for that industry, and so on and so on. Many questions about them, about the software, about the process, and then from there we went and developed the material that you will see today to make sure that we address those pain points and that we have that we are fitting a solution to it. From there, obviously, we go and do the presentation. That's the place that we launch, and that's where I talk to you right now, and I show you the solution, and you will later show that solution to your prospect and target the individual pain points that your prospect has. From there, as I said, it's an ongoing process, so you will develop testimonials. It will help you to develop testimonials, and and of course help you at the end close more deals as you build more and more industry knowledge and becoming their trusted advisor. Once you reach that point, closing deals will be a much easier task. Okay, now I said here that it's part of a bigger process because what you are going to see today is version 1. Okay, it's really, I would say it's even an alpha version. It's just the beginning of this process. It's a journey that we've started about 6 months ago, that we decided that we want to reach out to you, the partners, to your customers, of course, if you allow us, and to start interviewing you, get the feedback from the market to understand what is how we can help you, of course, better, but what are the challenges, the dynamic, or let's say the challenges that keeps on changing, also how you use the material and what do you need to be changed. And of course, at the end, of course, to provide you better data, but to provide you better data and to give you even more customer testimonials and more tools to use, we need your help. And that's exactly in the testimonials phase. And I take this opportunity to ask for your help and to help us reach to more customers, to interview, and to really understand how we can make that sales material and implementation material way better than it is today. And obviously, we have a lot of room for improvement. But of course, I hope that you're going to like what you're going to see today. So, as I said before, we are really all about selling the benefit, the value proposition. What is our value proposition? What features do we have in the product? Doesn't sell it. And we all know that if we just come with a technical presentation and we say, you know, we have MRP and this is what it does and this is how it works and this is how you can use that, it doesn't tie into any emotional feeling. And of course, you don't state the benefit. How can it impact my business? How will it make a difference? How will it affect my bottom line? How will it affect my, my workforce, and so on and so on? We need to understand what is the benefit instead. Okay, and then of course it will help you, of course, at the end to start differentiating yourself based on the experience that you have with your customers, and it will help you stand out in the market. Okay, so now we're going to go into what's included in the packages. It's divided into 3. I probably forgot to say that right now we have planned 5 packages. The first one that you're going to see is high-tech and electronics. Next, we're going to release metal fabrication. Next, food and beverage, industrial machinery and components, and chemicals at the end. Okay, so those are the top 5 industries that we are targeting right now. Next, we're going to work on the next 5 industries for WMS as well. So for those partners that are also selling WMS, please stay tuned. In a few more months, we will hopefully release the first package. Okay, so I want to start with implementation. We understand that implementation in a comprehensive product like Beas can be sometimes a complex task, and this is something that we really would like to improve and make sure that it's easier for you and that you are less that you're making less mistakes in the implementation process. Okay, so what we've came up with is 2 things. First of all, it's something called a best practice presentation. I'm just gonna switch. And in the best practice presentation, you can see the different or further information on the industry for high-tech and electronics in the case of this package. So we really give you, first of all, the industry overview. We go through the processes. We explain for those people that don't have maybe the substantial knowledge or don't know how to frame the process in front of the customer, in front of the technical audience, then you also have this presentation. So this is not something to just be used in an implementation, but of course you can use it during your sales cycle if you have a technical audience. Okay, so we have then at the end, or not at the end, at the beginning of the process, we have the business process in Beas that we have to take. And each one of those steps, so you see those steps are numbered. Each one of those steps, if I would go down, you will see that we explain in details. Okay, so we explain the products and the routing and the pricing and all those points that are related to that process that's fitting the high-tech and electronics industry. Okay, I can go obviously on and on. It's a very, very long slide. There was a team of consultants sitting for many, many hours and making sure that this looks as it looks, and it has a lot of information inside. Okay, so that's a tool if you want to learn the industry, or if you're going into a technical presentation and need the material backup, so you need the presentation to display whatever demo that you're doing, or whether you want to leave it as a handover even for the customer. That's also a possibility, so we understand the process in Beas, and of course during the implementation process. And again, feel free to ask any questions if you have on the chat window. Another thing that we have is a requirement survey. That's actually the blueprint template. So let me just go into that template, into a document that explains how to use it. That's a document basically that will guide you through all the questions that you need to ask the prospect for each business area that the business has. Okay, so it's divided. If I would look at the form, it's divided into master data, product configuration, production planning, and each one of those tabs has specific information that you're required to fill in. Okay, so for example, if I'm using Phantom Assemblies, then I just need to click on the X in here. At the end of this blueprint, after you go through the entire process, you can check in the checklist your process. Okay, so how many, where are you in completing the form? The grade is not required, meaning you have not checked somewhere here on this form, for example, that you need to work with interruptions. Okay, once you are going to click that, then that tab or that specific option will be opened for you to fill. Okay, so that is a dynamic form that will help you go through all the areas in Beas, ask the customer the question, fill it in, and at the end, you're going to reach into the configuration wizard, click on generate configuration wizard, and it will fill in the values that you have to fill in the system inside the configuration wizard. In the long term, we're going to make this an executable file that you can import into Beas. Okay, so whatever blueprinting that you have to do, this document will help you save at least 50, if not 70% of your time to fill in the required details. Okay, that will also help you make less mistakes because you will see right there in your eyes that what are the specific settings that you need to take in order to fulfill the requirements. Okay, you can use that during the blueprinting phase when you need to collect the information on the setup, the configuration, and the process. You can use it in the realization phase to use it as a checklist against what was already defined in the system. You can use it as a base for setting up an end user training, for example. And of course, you can use it as a handout for the customer as well, so he has a copy of that and can track it. Okay. So that was the requirement survey. That's on the implementation. And as I said before, if there are more tools that you need, let us know. Okay, we're really interested in hearing what you have to say. What else do you need? Email us. I will, at the end of the slide, show you to which email, and we would love to include even more and more tools, whatever making sense for you. On the marketing front, we created a brochure, and of course, the marketing department created they created both customer success stories and brochure. So right now you have, let me just go in here. You have a specific brochure for that specific industries with all the information, all the pain points, the challenges that we have validated from the customer. Okay, and then of course you can use it as your sales collateral. We also, as I said, have customer brochures. So right now for high-tech and electronics, we have one. We're working very, very hard on getting more slides and getting more testimonials. But as I said in my previous slide, we really need your help for that. We need you to engage with us. We will do all the work. We just need your approval to go ahead and interview the customer. Okay, so that's in high-tech and electronics, and that's the type of data that you can find. And at the end is the sales and the pre-sales material. Here we have a targeted presentation that we've, again, based on those pain points that we've identified, we have created. I will just show you a few slides of it because, again, it's really just to show you what's inside the package, but not to go through the presentation. For that, I have something else. Okay, so in this presentation, let me just go into presentation mode. We explain, or we built, let me just again start. We've built this presentation in a way that will fit different audiences. Okay, so this is my starting, this is going to be my starting slide. This is kind of a summary slide if you have executive in the rooms that you need to catch their attention if they only have a few minutes before they leave the room and you want to communicate what we know, okay, what are the challenges that we know that you have, and of course everything can be amended. What is the why Beas, okay, and then why Boyum IT. Okay, so for example, you can see that we have in this segment alone only 100 customers. Then we have the market forces and future trends. Okay, so we know what's going to hit the industry, and that's for you again a slide that you can choose to include or not based on what audience do you have in the room. Do you go in to start with the high level discussions about what is the future? And then it also follows some statistics from survey companies and from consulting companies. And then later on, we go into the pain points that we've identified with the relevant solution. Okay, so those are the challenges. For each one of those challenges, if I will go outside of a presentation mode, okay, so those are the challenges with the matching solution. If I will go out of the presentation mode, you will see that for each one of those challenges, okay, that's the challenge and that's the impact. Okay, what does it mean that you have that challenge? This is a hidden slide for you to know what to communicate. Okay, so when you say that you are losing agility and responsiveness due to no integration to CAD or PLM, then this is what it means. It means that it takes time to enter the bill of material and that the accuracy is affected and so on and so on. Okay, and we have that for each one of those challenges. And if there is an additional challenge, you can, of course, fit it in because we understand that, for example, maybe quality is not an issue for that customer because they have it covered. So you can, of course, take off this slide and maybe if you identified another challenge, you can fit it in here. Okay? So that's what we mean by making it your own. Then we go into explaining on why Beas, what makes us unique, what are our differentiators, and you can see that this is what, for example, we say of ourselves, but this is the facts behind what we say. We don't just say that we are the best. We have 900 customers. We are over 16 years of experience. We've received 16 awards and so on and so on. Okay, so we really try to give you all the data that will suit the presentation. Of course, our integration to SAP, the fact that Boyum IT is a leading partner, so you get some facts in here that you can use in your slide, and the fact that we have a global reach with over, I think it's 97 countries right now, and more than 140,000 users. Okay, so that's the, again, slides that you can choose to use or not, but we have them there for you. Then we go into talking about the integration and talking about what SAP is doing and where do Beas tie in, because many customers may have the question, so why don't I use SAP? Okay, or where does SAP stop and where does Beas start? So we explain this by explaining our basic functionality and our advanced functionality, and why, of course, this integration is seamless and makes a lot of chance, a lot of sense. Of course, specifically when talking to prospects that are buying SAP together with Beas. Okay. So they don't go into a solution that is not integrated. Then we explain about our implementation path, the fact that we match the SAP implementation, what are the partner tasks, what are the prospect or the customer tasks, so everybody is on the same line. That's a bit of a technical slide, but again, it's just for you to use it and to understand where does Boyum fits in, what do we provide, so it's clear for everybody. Okay, then we go and explain our customer reference. We explain what has been done before, what has been the benefit after, and some testimonials from that specific customer. The more customer cases we will have, the more options you will see on this slide. So right here we have another customer that, again, we have the before and after for them and their testimonials. We have a social proof of our customers that are using our software. What's the typical customer situation and what's the realized customer value? Now you can decide, again, will go out of presentation mode. You can, for example, decide maybe you're not comfortable in showing another partner's customer. You can just use that slide to explain what is our value for a customer from high tech and electronics. So, and they can also see the other customers that we have for social proof. Okay, or you can of course add your own testimonials in here. We have an added slide that you can pick and choose depending on how you want to use. So we gave you a few options here, and that's why it's hidden. If you want to use a case or two cases without names, that will just show you again the example. If you don't want to use a customer from another partner, then of course you can use that slide to show the benefit for specific companies but without their names. Okay, then we go into, again, another testimonial from another customer, an Italian camera producer. At this point in time, you can say, I want to go into a specific technical demo. So we have the slides with the pain points. Okay, so again, integrate easily. I take the same example. Before that, we had what was the impact, and now what is the benefit when you are going to have that system integrated or have it working well. Those are the benefits that you wish to see, and at that point in time, you can wish to go into your technical demo wherever you are in the sales cycle. I will talk about it a bit later, but we do have those slides if you want to do a quick demo, a very high level demo, or if you want to do a technical demo, of course, you can use the best practices slides in here to follow the technical demo. Okay? And what you see is the same format for all the other packages. It's exactly the same flow. Obviously, the challenges are different. The testimonials are different. The slide about where the integration of SAP and business and Beas is different depending on the feature that we need to highlight for a specific industry. And at the end, we have a call to action telling them, that when it would be the right time to start this journey. Okay? And of course, you can add any other slide that you wish. You can customize your company and you can customize your name. Okay, so we have all of that. Let me go back. Okay, so that's the sales presentation, but again, it's not all, because I understand that the way I showed you right now is obviously not giving you all the details that you need to be able to present it at ease. So we also created, let me just go back into my slides. We also created an introduction demo video, meaning you can watch me talking for 20 minutes or 25 minutes, presenting that slide as if there was a prospect in the room. Okay, so you will be able to see that and learn if you wish. We also have a demo script for that specific video if you want to see what I'm saying actually in text. We also included a pre-sale questionnaire because when we go into meetings, then it's very important that you as the partner, I guess most of you are doing preliminary meetings before you go and actually you do the demo. Then in this case, what we advise you is to take this document with you and to ask in a very high level the customers some questions so you can check in order to prepare your demo, and of course later to hand out into the implementation team. So in this file we've included the challenges that you see on the screen so you would know how to refer to the discussion. So when you do the interviews, I don't know how you're doing the interviews, but usually you do it one by one, and then you can go and address you would have kind of a cheat list, however you say that, with the challenges of that industry, and of course you can fill it in with your own notes, and then you can start asking some questions so you can start check mark or checking the options that make sense for the customers. How do they use routing and so on and so on. It's quite extensive, it's quite long. The other part of it, so that was a checklist. We also have a process questionnaire. So you also need to understand what is the process of that company. And we gave you a lot of questions that you can use in that interview to get all the data to tailor your demo to make sure that you come exactly with what they want to see. Okay. So you have that as well for your pre-sales employees. So on the plan, so that was the beta version, what you saw. On the planned version, we have planned a technical demo, meaning we're going to show you a scenario or a company that we're going to show how to do the technical demo itself. There is going to be a flow to the demo, meaning starting from A and finishing it at Z or Z. We're going to bring you the database and the script for the demo so you can go and copy us. And that is that's our aim for us at the end, for you to duplicate our efforts and to not work as hard. If we can provide you the tools. We also have started working on an objection handling Q&A for you, the partners. When you get questions, some of them may be challenging. We want to give you the answer that we think you should answer. Of course, you can use your own language, but we really want to help you address those objections during the sales cycle. It's I would say it's 90% finished. I'm just waiting for a final confirmation on it. So once it's done, it's going to be added into the package. And we are also working on competitive analysis. So how is Beas standing out in the field against the other competitors that we have, either locally or globally? That's something that it's it's a long process, it's an ongoing process, and we will release some data as soon as we have something substantial. Okay, so that's what's included. As I said all along, tailor it to your needs. You have a technical audience, put the technical slides from the best practices. You have a high level audience, take off all the detailed slides and leave only the ones that are catching their eyes. Add slides as you wish to meet, to suit the meeting agenda. Whether this is just preliminary meeting, use only the presentation slides, but maybe it's just the technical demo. So drop a lot of the slides and just leave the one that address the demo. Okay. Again, you will make your own decisions. I'm just giving you some tips on how you can use them. Add your specific pain points, add your specific solutions, and of course, add your specific testimonials. I just want to go on to 2 more slides. Obviously, you all know that we have a world tour going on, so please, if you have deals on the go, if you have implementations that you know need to happen and you don't have certified consultants or not enough consultants, we more than welcome you to join our world tour and get hands-on experience. It's a hands-on workshop, meaning you're going to build a demo company with a specific or specifications that will be giving for you in the workshop, so you can practice your knowledge. Our experts will be delivering them around the globe. We have the next one going on in Milan, which is confirmed, and we have one in London for WMS, and we have one in Germany, and we would love to see all of you in all our trainings and our webinars and our workshops. For each one that register, of course, gets 3 months of e-learning access if you want to learn the product. And I would say, and that's probably the most important thing more than anything, this was a version, as I said, version 1. We want to make it better. If you have a suggestion, you need more tools, you have a new testimonial, you want to tell us, how was it used, how was it perceived, what needs to be changed, just feel free to email me personally at the email that you see on the screen. I would love to hear you and what you have to say. And I wish you all the best and a great year. Thank you very much.